right, so here we are. Got the man, the myth, the legend, Lars Anderson here from CRISPI Boots, and we're going to do a little run through all the current CRISPI boots that we carry in the GOHUNT Gear Shop, and like what makes CRISPI awesome, why people should, look at CRISPI for the next hunting boot, and then to kind of discuss, individual models here, what makes them unique, what hunts you could probably take them on, and that sort of thing, and just again why CRISPI are just an all-around awesome hunting boot. Like I've been wearing mine a lot this summer now already. I'm super excited to be in a CRISPI boot. It's comfort, just durability, comfort, and I love a good hunting boot.
Absolutely, and you guys already have, this is a fantastic selection. I mean, you guys have everything covered across the board, kind of no matter what hunts you're doing, from antelope hunting like you've been doing previously, all the way up to extreme mountain hunts, chasing goats, sheep, anything like that, and everything in between.
Yeah, these are a lot like the, what'd you say, like the classic lineup of boots. Like this pretty much covers everything here in front of us of what you'd expect for a hunt. And yeah, they're just quality made boots.
Yeah, absolutely.
So which ones, let's run through the lineup of what we actually have here, and then we'll dive into maybe individual specs and considerations for each boot. So we'll start over there on the left.
Yeah, so starting out, we have the Shimik, which is going to be a 2-flex, 400 grams of insulation. You have the full rubber rand for added protection and durability. This is kind of that boot for somebody that wants something a little bit lighter, but still have that insulation. So it's not a part of the Laponia family, but for those guys that love the Laponia, they like a little bit more flexible boot. This is kind of just the later season for, like, I know in Utah we have a late archery hunt, and like this would absolutely be my go-to boot because you still have that ground feel underneath your feet, but you have the added insulation, and still super lightweight. I mean, an all leather boot coming in at like 1 pound, 10 ounces per boot is kind of insane for that style of boot, and that much insulation. And then up next we have the Guide. So the Guide has been one of our best-selling boots for a while, especially for somebody that likes a little bit taller boot and wants a boot that they can kind of do everything in. This boot's going to be a 3 on the flex rating scale, so which is that really good happy medium. It's that boot that you can take into a pheasant field and hunt, cut corn for 10, 12 miles at a time on super mild terrain, but you could also take this same exact boot and go chase elk at 12,000 feet and still have a really good time and still have it supportive yet comfortable. One unique thing about this boot as well is it has the ankle bone support system in there. The ankle bone support system is basically a memory foam-like material that's going to wrap completely around the ankle bones. So as soon as you tighten up these top 3 eyelets, it's going to conform to the exact shape of your ankle bone and give you significantly more support.
So does that help on like heel lift and all that stuff, kind of like locks it all in place?
It does help with heel lift as well as this little lock right here. So this little lock, there's quite a few different ways. I'm sure that you've used them like to actually lock that heel into place a little bit better, but that ankle bone support system does help with that, and it helps with just overall comfort. I mean, memory foam-like material wrapped around your ankle bones, it's extremely comfortable. Next one, this is for our women. This is the women's Skarven 2. It's very similar to our Nevada, which is kind of that go-to boot for anyone and everyone across North America. And this is basically the women's version of that model. So you have that 3 on the flex rating scale. The one of the major differences between the Nevada is we went with an EVA foam midsole. That's going to lighten up that boot, and most women aren't going to be able to compress this down nearly as much because they're just not as big as men. Still has the ankle bone support system, all leather upper construction, so it's going to be really, really durable in the long run. And then we jump up to this Brickstall Pro. So this Brickstall Pro is more on the mountain side of things. Like this is more of a hunt that you're planning for, like an elk hunt, a mule deer hunt, or even mountain goat sheep, to where you need a little bit more technical boot. So this one is going to be a 4 on the flex rating scale. So we do go up to a 5, but that 4 is definitely going to be quite a bit stiffer. This boot is going to be a full leather upper, and it's going to have something called the asymmetrical lacing system. So what that's going to do is give you a little bit more of a customizable fit to the exact shape of your foot. Like I'm a B width. I've got a super narrow foot. John, one of the guys who works with us, he's in double E. We can both fit in this same exact boot because of this asymmetrical lacing system. Because you can snug it down so much and get it to fit my foot, but also open it up so much to fit someone like John's where it's a high volume wide foot.
Yeah, that boot intrigues me a lot for like really steep, nasty mule deer country.
Yes.
Like that boot just screams me right now. Like, oof, that's the one.
Absolutely. It's my go-to for like my rifle deer hunts, chucker hunts, all kind of in that same technical terrain, but It's one of my go-tos for mountain hunting. Do you want to go over this altitude?
Well, altitude here, I mean, this boot is just also one of those boots that I look at and I just love the look. Like we were talking about a little bit ago before we started the camera, like adding some flare on the side of a boot, I think that just looks really cool. And I mean, what would make this boot stand apart from, I mean, like this guy over here? Is there anything similar differences on the two of them that would really like, because they both look like they're really technical boots, but this one just looks like a little bit technical. It feels a little bit lighter. It has a little bit more flex to it.
Absolutely. So this one's actually going to be a little bit stiffer, not by much. You're going to bump up to a 2.5 flex, and kind of one of those other key differences is this is going to be a polyurethane midsole.
Okay.
So that polyurethane midsole compared to the EVA foam, it's not going to compress and break down as fast over time. So if you have a heavy load on your back, you're carrying camp for 5-6 days, then you're going to want something with that polyurethane midsole, just because it's not going to compress over that time period, and you're just going to have a little bit more support underneath the footbed. And then this altitude is more geared for early season.
Gotcha.
So we have leather in all these high wear areas, but there's a ton of synthetic on that boot in the areas that aren't as prone to wear.
Yep.
So it's going to breathe really, really well. Like that's kind of my go-to scouting boot.
Okay,
because,
scouting, yeah, that makes sense.
Because of how breathable it is. I mean, you guys have it here in Nevada. We have it in Utah where you might be going out scouting and it's 95 degrees up on the mountain. And it's phenomenal for that. And one thing that's kind of interesting about this boot that I do is I'll actually go stand in the creek for 15 or 20 minutes and just have my feet cool off. And they're still 100% dry because of that Gore-Tex liner in there. But because of that synthetic material that we use on the top, you can almost feel that water and it cools your feet off so fast.
So I think when we were up there too, I think this is a Trails boot that he's going to use archery elk hunting this year.
Yes.
I think this one is, like you said, it breathes really well, still super technical, still has all the protection where you need it, and just built for running up and down the mountains, chasing and living with a herd of elk. That's a pretty sweet boot right there. I just love, like I said, I love a boot that looks good and also performs really, really well. And then right next to it, you get the CRISPI Nevada. This is just your, probably, is it one of like the best selling boots?
Absolutely. Just because of the fact, like I was kind of saying a little bit earlier, is that's a boot that you can do anything and everything with, from pheasant hunting to sheep hunting.
Yeah.
We've got guys literally across North America and around the world, realistically, wearing that boot, chasing every species that you can think of.
Yeah, Omar just got back from Alaska caribou hunting, and he's wearing this boot the whole entire time, and performed really well for him. So it's definitely a boot. What other cool features are on the Nevada that kind of like sets this apart to make this like one of the best sellers?
So just being like an all leather boot, it's going to be extremely durable in the long run. All leather, and it's going to have that full rubber rand for added protection of the upper of that boot. You have the polyurethane midsole, which is still going to be great in more mild terrain, but it'll be good for those heavy packouts. And then just that 3 on that flex rating scale is the perfect happy medium. I like to tell everyone, like, if you want one boot to do everything, that's the 3 flex.
Yep.
And then this boot still has the ankle bone support system.
Okay.
And one thing that's kind of interesting about this boot that not any of our other boots have is it actually has a leather lining on the inside of that boot.
Oh, yeah.
And that just adds to comfort. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know if you've
on the side of it. Yeah.
a lot of people just love the feel of leather lined boots. Because
What is that getting for you as a hunter, having a leather line? Just comfort and
it's mostly just a comfort side of things.
Huh.
But yep, absolutely one of the best sellers and just a really good all around boot.
Yeah, I love a leather boot. I just feel like they're classic. You can just beat them up in any sort of terrain possible, and they're just workhorses on the mountain. And this is the Thor 2. This boot I'm not very familiar with at all, but I do love the look of it. Again, it's a different look than all these other boots we have on the table. Yeah, what would be the purpose of this boot again, and what setting it apart right now from these other boots?
Yeah, so this boot is uniquely different in a very good way. It's kind of in a class of its own. So we use the CRISPI Claw outsole on there to decrease the weight and have just a little bit more ground feel. And same with the EVA foam midsole. We want it to be extremely lightweight. But what really sets it apart is it's a 4 flex. So it's a 4 flex that is extremely lightweight. I mean, that boot's coming in at 1 pound, 5 ounces per boot. So
basically floats.
Yeah, super lightweight, full synthetic upper. So this material here that we use on it, it's called PU Tech.
Okay.
PU Tech is a Codura material that's infused with polyurethane. So it's going to be extremely breathable, but very abrasive resistant and extremely durable.
Okay.
One of the key features that we have found for or uses for this boot is a lot of saddle hunters. We have saddle hunting's became extremely popular, and a lot of people that in the back east and Midwest that are actually saddle hunting, I mean, it came out west a little bit too, but they've realized like rubber boots not cutting it for that, because you're on your feet on that platform for long periods of time, and that's when that stiffer boot really comes into play, and you have that support throughout the entire footbed. While this one doesn't have a ton of ankle support, it has a lot of ankle mobility, which helps when you're on that saddle. So this boot is really more geared for somebody like sitting in a saddle, or somebody that wants a stiffer boot that's just super lightweight that they can run across the mountain in.
I would have never thought of that use case, but once you're explaining it, it does kind of make sense. Like, yeah, you kind of need those extra little features in a boot. So it's like, yeah, all sorts of considerations. And then another just absolutely gorgeous boot, the Briksdal Mountain. This thing crushes.
Yes, that's by far my favorite, like, early to mid-season boot. I was one of the original testers of that boot.
Really?
Yeah, I was. That's actually kind of a cool story, and John always uses it to kind of represent CRISPI and like who we are as a company. But I was like 20 years old, like very fresh into the company at CRISPI, and I get out and hunt a lot because I'm not married, single guy.
Yeah, you got a ton of time.
Yeah, I got a ton of time, so I'm one of like the few guys in the office that can get out every single weekend, take time off, and go get out. So they had me testing that boot originally, which is I thought was super cool. Kind of, and everyone in that office helped design that boot. So to be one of the original testers of it, it was pretty cool. But it's a full synthetic upper, so even the material there that looks like leather.
Yeah, it looks like leather.
It's a microfiber material with a nubuck finish.
Okay.
So it's going to dry out faster than leather. It's going to be just as durable as leather and be significantly lighter weight than leather.
It also looks good. I like that color. Again, color's not a performance factor, but it's a cool looking boot.
Yeah, and we rate that one at a 3 on the flex rating scale. In my opinion, I feel like it's more of like a 3.5. It's just a little bit stiffer than that 3, so I can get away with packing out a heavier load or going into a little bit more technical terrain. And one thing about all of the Brickstall series lineup is there's something about how that upper is constructed around the ankle bones. Like, even though this will still have the ankle bone support system, I feel like I just get substantially more ankle support out of the Brickstall series. And it could be just because it's a 9-inch boot, it's a little bit taller, but the ankle support, the stability underneath the footbed, like everything about that boot for a Western big game guy hunting early to mid-season, it's just a phenomenal all-around boot.
How do all the boots comparatively do on, like, you know, all of Gore-Tex, right? So they're all pretty waterproof?
Yes. Yep. So that's one thing that we do different as well, is we use full Gore-Tex booties. So no matter what boot you're looking at, whether it's this Brickstall Pro that's 10 inches tall, this Thor 2, which is 7 inches tall, there will be a full Gore-Tex booty in there. So like any of these boots, you could stand in a creek up until about the ankle bone, some a little bit taller on the taller boots, and your feet are going to stay dry. Especially if you pair it with a good set of gaiters. You can walk across creeks. Like, I've personally never had a set of our boots leak on me.
That's pretty amazing. Especially when you're doing something like they just got doing, going to Alaska, when it's like just wet everywhere. Talk about the rubber on the bottom. Is there differences rubber on the bottom between a bunch of these boots, or are they all pretty much the same, or what do we got going on here?
Yeah, so that's one cool thing about all of our outsoles. They're all Vibram outsoles.
Okay.
And the Vibram outsoles that we use are proprietary to us. The rubber compounds that we're using is Vibram Mega Grip, which that rubber compound is super cool because once that becomes wet, it'll actually become a little bit more tacky. And that's one thing you'll notice like right out of the box.
Yeah, allows you to like grip a little bit, the rocks, the terrain when you're kind of moving around it.
Yep, and then on a few of our other models, like this Thor, this uses the CRISPI Claw outsole, which is still made by Vibram, still uses the Mega Grip rubber compound in there. So it's a little bit shallower. That's more for optimum like ground feel, like especially for the archery guys that are trying to be a little bit stealthier.
Interesting, I wouldn't have thought that. So yeah, this being a little bit shorter allows you to get a little bit more feel. Okay.
Yep, have a little bit more feel. And I think that it can just be a little bit quieter. I mean, sometimes when you go to a little bit bigger lug, it is going to be a little bit louder when you're putting on stocks. Anything
else on the boots that we missed, or to highlight overall on people making their selection about which boot they should get for, you know, upcoming fall? Let's say guys a tag in, you know, like late September. Is it I mean, like CRISPI is known for just being able to put them on out of the box and just go hunting, right?
Absolutely.
So a guy would not be concerned about, okay, I have a hunt coming up in 3 weeks. I need to get a pair of boots right now. I don't have a lot of time to break it in, right? You can just roll with it.
Yeah, especially if you get proper fitment on those boots, like by calling your team here at GOHUNT, making sure that they are in the proper sizing. I think that's the biggest thing for our break-in, because we really don't have a break-in period.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we've been known for many years, is out-of-the-box comfort and out-of-the-box fit and feel. And whether that you're in a 2-flex all-leather boot, or whether you are in a 5-flex extremely stiff boot, like, it really doesn't matter. As long as that boot fits you properly, there really shouldn't be much of a break-in period whatsoever. But I wouldn't recommend somebody to take them out of the box and go hit the hills. Like, I would still
do something around your house or whatever. Get out and do some trails really quickly to kind of test out, make sure they're a proper fit and everything. And yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm super excited to have you guys carrying the boots, having you guys wear the boots on all your guys' adventures and Omar's Alaska hunt. It's super cool to hear all the boots performing like they're supposed to be.
So these are the current models we have in the GOHUNT Gear Shop, and I say current because who knows, probably adding some here in the near future as well. So it was super awesome. You guys were here in the shop today, walking around, talking to the team, and yeah, this is this quick little overview. Every single boot, kind of what they're for, how they're made, and hopefully that'll help you out on your next hunt. Lars, as always, it was a pleasure to see you. Do you got any sweet tags this year?
I don't have a ton of super good tags. Over-the-counter elk in Utah, and then Idaho deer tags. So
can't wait to see your success. And we're going to, I got a good mule deer hunt, and we talked about when I was up there, I got a mountain goat hunt as well. So it's like, I've already got 2 boots picked out. I've been kind of wearing them around, getting excited for it. And yeah, if you guys have any questions at all, hit us up in the comments, reach out to the shop, we'll get you guys fitted for a proper boot for your hunt this year. And yeah, if you're in the market for a boot, definitely check out CRISPI. They are awesome, and they're making tons of boots that fit any sort of terrain, habitat, whatever hunt you got going on. So definitely check them out, and best of luck this season.